Most people dream about receiving surprise inheritances from long-lost relatives, imagining how they'd wisely manage their newfound wealth and honor their family legacy. Then there are these heirs, who proved that inheriting money and knowing what to do with it are completely unrelated talents. These are real stories about people who turned inheritance windfalls into cautionary tales about what happens when sudden wealth meets zero financial wisdom. 1. Marcus discovered he'd inherited a $2.3 million Victorian mansion from his great-aunt, and immediately decided the best use for the historic property was converting it into the world's largest personal gaming room. He gutted the interior to install arcade machines, laser tag equipment, and a full-sized indoor go-kart track, destroying original woodwork, stained glass windows, and architectural details that had taken craftsmen years to create. The renovation cost $800,000 and violated historic preservation codes that resulted in $400,000 in fines. Marcus eventually had to sell the destroyed mansion for $150,000 to a developer who demolished what remained, turning a multi-million-dollar inheritance into an expensive lesson about respecting architectural history. 2. Jennifer inherited her grandmother's successful bakery business and decided it needed modernization through complete automation that would eliminate the need for human bakers. She spent $300,000 replacing traditional ovens with robotic baking systems and fired all employees who knew family recipes, convinced that machines would produce superior baked goods. The automated bakery produced inedible products that customers couldn't identify, much less purchase, while Jennifer discovered that family recipes existed only in the memories of employees she'd dismissed. The business failed within 6 months, and Jennifer lost both the profitable bakery and the family traditions that had made it successful. 3. Inheritance of a working cattle ranch led Robert to believe he was destined to become a cowboy, despite having lived his entire life in urban apartments and never having interacted with livestock larger than house cats. He bought elaborate Western clothing, expensive boots, and a custom saddle, then attempted to manage 500 head of cattle using techniques he'd learned from watching Westerns. Robert's ranching career lasted 3 weeks, during which he lost 47 cattle who wandered through fences he couldn't repair, injured himself falling off horses multiple times, and discovered that real ranching required skills that movies hadn't taught him. He eventually sold the ranch to actual ranchers for half its appraised value. 4. Dorothy inherited her uncle's antique collection worth $1.8 million and decided the dusty old items needed updating to appeal to modern buyers. She had vintage furniture painted bright colors, antique jewelry modernized with contemporary settings, and rare books rebound with colorful covers that eliminated their historical value. Dorothy's improvements destroyed the authenticity that made the collection valuable, and antique dealers informed her that painted Victorian furniture and modernized vintage jewelry were worthless to collectors. Her inheritance became a garage sale collection worth approximately $15,000 after her improvement efforts eliminated everything that made the pieces valuable. 5. Frank inherited a successful family restaurant and immediately decided the traditional menu was too old-fashioned for contemporary diners. He replaced Italian family recipes passed down through generations with fusion cuisine, featuring combinations like sushi pizza, taco spaghetti, and hamburger risotto that confused both customers and kitchen staff. The restaurant's loyal customer base stopped coming when they couldn't find familiar dishes, while new customers were bewildered by menu items that sounded like culinary accidents. Frank's fusion experiment lasted 4 months before the restaurant closed, ending a family business that had operated successfully for 3 generations. 6. Linda inherited a small apartment building, generating $8,000 monthly rental income, and decided real estate management was too simple and boring for her entrepreneurial ambitions. She evicted all tenants to convert the building into an indoor miniature golf course, spending $200,000 on elaborate themed holes and obstacles throughout the apartments. The miniature golf facility attracted approximately 12 customers during its 6-month existence, generating $340 in total revenue, while costing $4,000 monthly in utilities and maintenance. Linda eventually had to sell the building at a loss to investors who converted it back to apartments. 7. George inherited his father's successful plumbing business and decided physical labor was beneath his new status as a business owner, so he hired managers to run operations while he focused on big picture strategy. His big picture involved expanding into luxury bathroom design, despite having no design experience, interior decorating knowledge, or understanding of high-end customer expectations. George's luxury expansion consumed the business's profits while generating zero revenue, and his absent management style allowed the original plumbing operations to deteriorate. The business filed for bankruptcy after 18 months of George's strategic leadership. 8. Betty inherited a valuable coin collection and decided static investments were inefficient compared to active trading strategies she'd read about online. She sold rare coins worth $400,000 to invest in cryptocurrency trading, convinced that her inheritance represented seed money for building a digital fortune. Betty's trading strategy involved following social media investment advice and buying whatever coins were trending, resulting in spectacular losses as she bought high and sold low repeatedly. Her $400,000 inheritance became $12,000 in digital currency after 8 months of expert trading. 9. William inherited a beach house worth $950,000 and decided oceanfront property was wasted on personal use when it could generate income as a wedding venue. He spent $150,000 converting the house into reception facilities, installing commercial kitchen equipment, and creating outdoor ceremony spaces without researching permits, zoning laws, or insurance requirements for commercial operations. The wedding venue business lasted exactly one wedding before city officials shut down operations for zoning violations, leaving William with a house modified for commercial use but unusable as either residence or business. 10. Patricia inherited her aunt's successful florist shop and decided traditional flower arrangements were outdated in the age of artificial alternatives. She replaced fresh flowers with plastic ones, convinced that permanent arrangements would provide better value for customers while eliminating inventory waste and spoilage concerns. Patricia's plastic flower shop confused customers who expected fresh flowers for weddings, funerals, and special occasions, and her artificial arrangements looked exactly like what they were: cheap plastic flowers. The business closed after customers realized they could buy identical products at discount stores for significantly less money. 11. Arthur inherited a profitable hardware store and decided small-town retail was limiting his potential, so he expanded into online sales targeting national customers. He invested the business's working capital in website development, digital marketing, and nationwide shipping infrastructure, convinced that internet sales would dwarf local revenue. Arthur's online expansion attracted minimal customers while neglecting local clientele who had supported the business for decades. The hardware store lost both its traditional customer base and failed to develop online success, closing after Arthur's expansion eliminated the local relationships that had made the business profitable. 12. Joyce inherited a working farm and decided agriculture was too unpredictable, so she converted crop fields into a paintball course that would provide steady entertainment revenue regardless of weather conditions. She spent $80,000 on paintball equipment, obstacles, and safety gear, then discovered that rural paintball attractions require significant marketing to attract urban customers willing to drive to remote locations. The paintball farm attracted occasional weekend warriors but generated insufficient revenue to cover maintenance, insurance, and equipment replacement costs. Joyce eventually returned to farming, but discovered that paintball obstacles had damaged soil quality and irrigation systems. 13. Charles inherited his grandfather's watch repair shop and decided mechanical timepieces were obsolete in the smartphone era, so he converted the business into a phone repair service. He sold vintage watch repair equipment worth $40,000 to buy phone repair tools and training, then discovered that phone repair required technical certifications, manufacturer relationships, and rapid adaptation to constantly changing technology. Charles's phone repair shop competed with established businesses that had existing customer bases and technical expertise, while his watch repair conversion eliminated the specialized skills that had made the original business valuable in a niche market. 14. Marilyn inherited a successful bed and breakfast and decided traditional hospitality was too personal and labor-intensive for modern travelers. She converted the B&B into a self-service facility with automated check-in, vending machine breakfasts, and minimal human interaction, convinced that efficiency would attract business travelers seeking convenient accommodations. Maryland's automated hospitality eliminated the personal service and home-cooked breakfasts that had differentiated her B&B from chain hotels. And guests complained that self-service accommodations provided no advantages over cheaper hotel alternatives. The business closed after losing customers who preferred either genuine bed and breakfast experiences or professional hotel services. 15. Donald inherited a vintage clothing store specializing in authentic period pieces and decided retro fashion needed contemporary improvements to attract younger customers. He had Victorian dresses shortened to modern lengths, 1940s suits altered for contemporary fit, and vintage accessories updated with modern materials, destroying the historical authenticity that made the clothing valuable to collectors. Donald's improved vintage clothing appealed neither to collectors seeking authentic pieces nor to contemporary shoppers who could buy new clothes for less money than modified vintage items. The store closed after Donald's improvements eliminated the niche market that had sustained the business. 16. Helen inherited a successful catering business and decided food service was too limiting when she could expand into complete event planning that would provide comprehensive wedding and party services. She invested catering profits in event planning equipment, floral arrangements, photography services, and entertainment booking, spreading resources across multiple service areas without expertise in any of them. Helen's expanded business provided mediocre service in all areas instead of excellent catering, and customers preferred specialists who excelled in specific services rather than generalists who provided adequate everything. The business lost customers to focused competitors, while Helen's expansion consumed profits without generating proportional revenue increases. 17. Roger inherited his father's auto repair shop and decided traditional automotive service was outdated when electric vehicles represented the future of transportation. He sold conventional repair equipment to buy electric vehicle service tools and training, then discovered that his rural location attracted few electric vehicle owners and that EV service required manufacturer certifications he couldn't obtain. Roger's electric vehicle shop served a customer base that didn't exist in his area while eliminating services that local customers needed, and the business failed when traditional car owners went elsewhere for repairs, while EV owners went to certified dealerships. 18. Barbara inherited a profitable bookstore and decided physical books were obsolete in the digital age, so she converted the space into an internet cafe that would serve the community's online needs. She sold book inventory worth $60,000 to buy computers, gaming systems, and cafe equipment, convinced that internet access would generate more consistent revenue than book sales. Barbara's internet cafe opened just as smartphones made public internet access less necessary, and her location attracted primarily teenagers playing video games who purchased minimal cafe items while occupying expensive equipment for hours. The business generated insufficient revenue to cover equipment costs and utilities. 19. Kenneth inherited a working dairy farm and decided milk production was too traditional when organic specialty products could command premium prices. He converted dairy operations to organic certification and began producing artisanal cheeses, yogurts, and butter without understanding organic regulations, specialty food markets, or artisanal production techniques. Kenneth's organic conversion required expensive process changes, while his artisanal products competed with established specialty food producers who had years of experience and customer relationships. The farm lost money during organic certification while producing specialty foods that few local customers wanted to buy at premium prices. 20. Evelyn inherited her grandmother's successful dressmaking business and decided custom clothing was inefficient when mass production could serve more customers at lower costs. She replaced hand sewing operations with industrial sewing machines and began producing standardized clothing designs instead of custom garments, eliminating the personalized service that had differentiated the business. Evelyn's mass production competed with established clothing manufacturers while losing customers who had valued custom fitting and personalized design services. The business closed when mass production failed to achieve economies of scale while custom clients went to remaining traditional dressmakers. 21. Ralph inherited a profitable taxi service and decided traditional transportation was outdated when luxury ride services could command higher prices from affluent customers. He sold the taxi fleet to buy luxury vehicles and began offering high-end transportation services, convinced that upscale customers would pay premium prices for superior vehicles and service. Ralph's luxury service attracted minimal customers in his small town market, while his expensive vehicles required higher maintenance costs and insurance premiums. The business failed when luxury service demand didn't exist locally, while traditional taxi customers used ride-sharing apps instead. 22. Gladys inherited a successful pet grooming business and decided animal care was limiting, when pet-related retail could serve broader customer needs. She converted grooming facilities into a pet store selling food, toys, and accessories, convinced that product sales would generate more consistent revenue than service appointments. Gladys's pet store competed with established retailers and online sellers while losing grooming customers who had provided steady recurring income. The business struggled with inventory management, supplier relationships, and retail competition while eliminating the specialized service that had made the original business profitable. 23. Harold inherited his uncle's successful lawn care service and decided manual labor was inefficient when automated systems could serve more customers with less physical effort. He invested service profits in robotic mowers, automated irrigation systems, and remote monitoring equipment, convinced that technology would revolutionize landscape maintenance. Harold's automated service appealed to few customers who preferred human oversight of their property maintenance, while his expensive equipment required technical knowledge he didn't possess. The business lost customers who wanted personal service, while Harold's automation investments generated minimal additional revenue. 24. Melissa inherited a profitable piano teaching studio and decided individual lessons were inefficient when group classes could serve more students simultaneously. She converted private lesson rooms into group instruction spaces and began teaching multiple students together, convinced that classroom efficiency would increase revenue while reducing teaching time per student. Melissa's group classes provided less individual attention than private lessons while attracting students who could find similar group instruction elsewhere for lower prices. The studio lost students who valued personalized instruction, while group classes failed to generate proportionally higher revenue. 25. Victor inherited a successful shoe repair business and decided cobbling was obsolete when customers could buy new shoes instead of repairing old ones. He converted the repair shop into a shoe store selling new footwear, convinced that retail sales would provide more consistent income than repair services. Victor's shoe store competed with established footwear retailers while losing repair customers who had provided steady income through repeat business. The store struggled with inventory management and retail competition while eliminating the specialized service that had sustained the original business in a niche market. 26. Nancy inherited her aunt's successful jewelry store and decided traditional jewelry was outdated when costume accessories could appeal to broader customer demographics at lower price points. She sold fine jewelry inventory worth $200,000 to stock fashion accessories and costume jewelry, convinced that affordable items would attract more customers than expensive, authentic pieces. Nancy's accessory store competed with mass retailers while losing customers who had valued quality jewelry and expert service. The business failed when costume jewelry margins couldn't support specialty retail overhead, while fine jewelry customers went to remaining traditional jewelers. 27. Eugene inherited a profitable appliance repair service and decided fixing old appliances was wasteful when customers should replace inefficient equipment with modern alternatives. He converted repair operations into appliance sales, convinced that selling new equipment would generate higher profits than repair services. Eugene's appliance sales competed with established retailers who had better pricing and selection while losing repair customers who preferred fixing appliances to replacing them. The business struggled with inventory costs and retail competition while eliminating repair expertise that had provided steady income from repeat customers. 28. Dolores inherited her father's successful printing business and decided traditional printing was obsolete when digital alternatives could serve customer needs more efficiently. She sold printing equipment worth $150,000 to invest in digital design services and online printing, convinced that modern technology would attract more customers than traditional methods. Dolores's digital services competed with established online printing companies while losing local customers who had valued personal service and quick turnaround times. The business failed when digital competition eliminated profit margins, while traditional printing customers went to remaining local competitors. 29. Gregory inherited a working greenhouse business and decided plant production was limiting when landscape design could provide comprehensive outdoor services. He converted greenhouse space to design studios and began offering landscape architecture services, convinced that complete outdoor design would generate higher profits than plant sales. Gregory's landscape design competed with established architects while losing plant customers who had provided steady income through seasonal sales. The business struggled when design services required expertise he didn't possess, while greenhouse operations had provided reliable revenue from repeat customers. 30. Donna inherited her grandmother's successful alterations business and decided clothing repairs were limiting when fashion design could create original garments for style-conscious customers. She converted alteration equipment to design and production facilities, convinced that original fashion would command higher prices than repair services. Donna's fashion design competed with established designers while losing alteration customers who had provided steady income through repeat business. The business failed when fashion design required creativity and market knowledge she didn't possess, while alterations had sustained the business through consistent customer needs. 31. Carl inherited a profitable locksmith business and decided traditional security was outdated when smart home technology could provide comprehensive residential protection. He sold locksmith tools to invest in home automation equipment and security system installation, convinced that modern technology would attract more customers than traditional lock services. Carl's smart home business required technical certifications and ongoing training, while losing locksmith customers who had provided emergency service income. The business struggled when smart home installation competed with established technology companies, while traditional locksmith services had generated reliable revenue. 32. Linda inherited her uncle's successful upholstery shop and decided furniture repair was limiting when interior decorating could provide complete home design services. She converted upholstery equipment to decorating supplies and began offering interior design consultation, convinced that comprehensive design would generate higher profits than furniture repair. Linda's interior design competed with established decorators while losing upholstery customers who had valued skilled craftsmanship and repair services. The business failed when interior design required artistic training she didn't possess, while upholstery had provided steady income from furniture restoration. 33. Arthur inherited a working Christmas tree farm and decided seasonal agriculture was too limiting, when year-round entertainment could provide consistent revenue regardless of holidays. He converted tree fields into camping facilities and outdoor recreation areas, convinced that camping would attract customers throughout the year instead of just during Christmas season. Arthur's camping business required permits, facilities, and insurance he hadn't considered, while Christmas tree sales had generated annual income with minimal overhead. The recreational facilities struggled with regulatory compliance and competition, while eliminating the seasonal business that had operated profitably for decades. 34. Stephanie inherited her grandfather's successful clock repair business and decided timepiece repair was obsolete when customers could replace broken clocks instead of fixing them. She converted repair facilities into clock sales, convinced that selling new timepieces would generate more consistent revenue than repair services. Stephanie's clock sales competed with mass retailers while losing repair customers who had valued restoration of antique and valuable timepieces. The business failed when retail competition eliminated profit margins, while clock repair had served collectors and customers with valuable timepieces requiring specialized knowledge. 35. Walter inherited a profitable bicycle shop and decided traditional bikes were outdated when electric alternatives could appeal to customers seeking modern transportation solutions. He converted inventory to electric bikes and related equipment, convinced that e-bikes would attract customers interested in contemporary technology rather than traditional cycling. Walter's electric bike shop served a limited customer base while losing traditional cycling customers who had provided steady sales and service revenue. The business struggled with expensive inventory and limited demand, while traditional bicycle services had sustained the business through diverse customer needs. 36. Phyllis inherited her aunt's successful cake decorating business and decided custom cakes were inefficient when mass production could serve more customers at lower costs per unit. She replaced hand decorating equipment with commercial baking machinery and began producing standardized cakes instead of custom designs, eliminating the artistic service that had differentiated the business. Phyllis's mass production competed with commercial bakeries while losing customers who had valued personalized cake artistry for special occasions. The business failed when standardized products couldn't compete with mass market pricing, while custom decorating had commanded premium prices. 37. Eugene inherited his father's successful wood shop and decided furniture making was too labor-intensive when retail furniture sales could provide consistent income without production time and effort. He sold woodworking equipment worth $80,000 to stock manufactured furniture, convinced that retail sales would generate more predictable revenue than custom woodworking. Eugene's furniture store competed with established retailers while losing customers who had valued handcrafted furniture and custom woodworking services. The business struggled with inventory management and retail competition while eliminating the craftsmanship that had justified premium pricing. 38. Marjorie inherited a profitable music store specializing in instrument sales and repairs, and decided traditional music was limiting when modern audio equipment could serve broader entertainment needs. She converted instrument inventory to audio gear and electronics, convinced that contemporary technology would attract customers seeking modern entertainment solutions rather than traditional musical instruments. Marjorie's electronics store competed with established retailers while losing musicians who had provided steady sales and repair income. The business failed when audio equipment margins couldn't support specialty retail overhead, while musical instruments had served a dedicated customer base. 39. Leonard inherited his grandfather's successful barbershop and decided traditional haircuts were outdated when modern styling services could attract customers seeking contemporary grooming experiences. He converted classic barbering equipment to trendy salon facilities and began offering styling services, convinced that modern techniques would generate higher profits than traditional barbering. Leonard's styling salon competed with established salons while losing barbershop customers who had valued a traditional service and community atmosphere. The business struggled when styling services required training he didn't possess, while barbering had provided steady income from loyal customers. 40. Barbara inherited her grandmother's successful quilt shop and decided handmade crafts were inefficient when mass-produced alternatives could serve customers seeking convenient sewing solutions. She replaced handmade inventory with manufactured quilting supplies and kits, convinced that convenient products would attract more customers than traditional handmade items. Barbara's supply shop competed with craft store chains while losing customers who had valued handmade quality and artisanal expertise. The business failed when manufactured products couldn't justify specialty pricing, while handmade quilts had commanded premium prices from collectors and craft enthusiasts. 41. Russell inherited a profitable photography studio and decided traditional portraits were limiting when event photography could provide higher revenue through wedding and party services. He converted studio equipment to portable gear and began specializing in event coverage, convinced that wedding photography would generate more income than studio portraits. Russell's event photography competed with established wedding photographers while losing portrait customers who had provided steady studio income. The business struggled when event photography required skills and equipment he didn't possess, while studio portraits had sustained the business through repeat customers and family photography. 42. Dolores inherited her uncle's successful small engine repair shop and decided equipment repair was limiting when equipment sales could provide higher profits through new product revenue. She sold repair tools to stock new lawnmowers, generators, and outdoor equipment, convinced that retail sales would generate more consistent income than repair services. Dolores's equipment store competed with established retailers while losing repair customers who had provided steady income through ongoing maintenance needs. The business failed when retail competition eliminated profit margins, while repair services had served customers throughout equipment life cycles. 43. Theodore inherited a working pottery studio and decided handmade ceramics were inefficient when mass production could serve more customers at lower costs per piece. He replaced pottery wheels with commercial molding equipment and began producing standardized ceramic items instead of handmade pottery, eliminating the artistic craftsmanship that had differentiated the studio. Theodore's mass production competed with commercial manufacturers while losing customers who had valued handmade pottery and custom ceramic work. The business failed when standardized products couldn't compete with mass market pricing, while handmade pottery had commanded premium prices from art collectors. 44. Vivian inherited her aunt's successful travel agency and decided traditional vacation planning was outdated when online booking had made travel agents obsolete for most customer needs. She converted agency facilities into corporate event planning services, convinced that business events would provide more consistent revenue than leisure travel in the internet age. Vivian's event planning competed with established corporate services while losing travel customers who had valued personalized vacation planning and expert destination knowledge. The business struggled when event planning required skills she didn't possess, while travel services had sustained the business through customer relationships and specialized expertise. 45. And finally, Warren inherited his family's successful funeral home and decided the death industry was too depressing when celebration services could help families focus on positive memories instead of mourning losses. He converted funeral facilities into party planning services for memorial celebrations, convinced that upbeat remembrance events would provide more emotionally satisfying services while generating similar revenue through celebration planning. Warren's party planning competed with event coordinators while losing funeral customers who needed traditional services during grief and loss. The business failed when celebration planning couldn't replace funeral revenue, while families in mourning required professional funeral services rather than party planning, proving that some family businesses serve essential community needs that can't be improved through optimization or modernization. Here's the brutal truth about inheritance. Receiving money doesn't automatically provide the wisdom to manage it, and inheriting a business doesn't transfer the knowledge needed to operate it successfully. These heirs discovered that family wealth and family wisdom are completely different inheritances, and that the fastest way to lose a fortune is to assume you know better than the people who built it. The real inheritance isn't the money, it's understanding why the money existed in the first place. Subscribe for more proof that inheriting success and maintaining success require completely different skill sets.